Yesterday's Liberation Day was supposed to be Trump's big economic reset, and the markets tanked. All right, we see a lot of red, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt regarding Trump's plan. But who is behind the plan? Is it just Trump? Obviously not. He's got advisors. So we're going to take a look at the advisors. Obviously, we're going to put the crypto spin to it because their move is historic. What they're trying to do is historic. They're trying to basically change the world order of things and keep the United States relevant. We're going to discuss all that again, tie it all into crypto, because all that's honestly what we mainly care about, right? Us that have bags in crypto. Could this chaos be Bitcoin's time to shine, or is it going to just crash? Stick around as we dive into all of this, plus Keycat and Doginme. Obviously, like everything else, Bitcoin dumps, they dump too, but what happened? They just got listed on Coinbase. We'll discuss that. Was it a major fail? I don't think so. I'm going to bring you an unconventional point of view. Not really unconventional, just against all the fear, right? I'm going to put the silver lining on it. Okay, let's look at it right now. First, Bitcoin. All right, when in doubt, zoom out. Look at things in the monthly chart, guys, okay? Let's see how, this is a brand new month, okay? And this is the month that we're on right now. As you can see, here's the interesting thing, okay? This shows too just the manipulation that goes on in the markets, right? Taking advantage of fear, okay? Everything was looking good, right? Yesterday, when I made the video, we were up here, right? 88,563. Now, I did mention to you in the heat map that there was a bunch of liquidity up here, and lo and behold, look at that, nice big wake up, and then whoom, the Trump stuff. Markets got spooked on what Trump is talking about. So instead of looking at this first, we're gonna take a look at this after I give you some color. Okay, Trump's second-term economic advisors 2025. President Trump's economic team shares a clear theme: a controversial tariff-driven trade policy. And here's the breakdown. Okay, main advisors and their unconventional views: Stephen Miran, Angus, he's the Chair Council of Economic Advisors, argues tariff historically coexist with strong economic growth, believes tariffs offset damage from an overvalued US dollar. Kevin Hassett, he's a director, defends tariffs as short-term tools leading to long-term manufacturing growth, minimizes concerns about trade wars or inflation. Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, sees tariffs as revenue generators and drivers of energy independence, promotes 333 plan, 3% deficit, 3% growth, 3 million barrels of oil a day. Howard Lutnick, Commerce Secretary. And these guys all have really good pedigrees, and they're not just academics like other administrations. These guys they have some business acumen too, all right? Hedge funds, Harvard Ivy Leagues, but hedge funds and Wall Street connections, okay? So they come from that type of viewpoint. I don't know if you think that's good or bad. Proposes extreme tariffs up to 60% on China, replacing income taxes entirely. That would be great. Believes tariffs protect U.S. jobs, downplays consumer price impacts. Jameson Greer, advocating strong tariffs, 25% in Canada, Mexico 20%, China for security reasons, aims to repatriate supply chains back to America. Pierre Yared and Kim Rule, all right, economic advisors, less outspoken publicly, but support of tariff-focused economic policy. So this team is very much united, unlike his previous team. And remember, Trump has had 2 times. This is his second time, and like everything, you know, your first time, maybe you're not as good, and the second time you learn from all your mistakes and say, let me change this up, and you know, if they take this job seriously, then I would assume, right, he would be doing the same thing. Okay, core unconventional trade beliefs, positive view of tariffs. Trump team believes tariffs rebuild American manufacturing, reduce reliance on foreign imports, and serve national security interests. Reject free trade orthodoxy. Mainstream economics emphasizes global efficiency through free trade. Trump's team argues free trade hollowed out U.S. industries, enriching rivals like China. Trade deficits as a crisis. Conventional economics sees deficits as neutral or positive. Trump advisors see them as wealth transfers abroad, harmful to U.S. prosperity. Short-term pain, long-term gain. They acknowledge immediate price hikes and disruption, but argue tariffs bring long-term job growth and manufacturing strength. Current context: since January, significant tariffs are active. 25% on Canada, Mexico 20% on China. Canada and Mexico 25%, 20% on China. Early results: modest manufacturing job gains. but consumer prices already rising. Electronics up 8%. IMF and economists warn about potential trade wars and economic slowdown risks. And these are that's the information there, okay? Just as far as, you know, who they are, what they believe in, right? What their and their plan is basically, and it sounds crazy, but like a new world order. Not necessarily a new world order in the sense of a conspiracy theory, but more like Bretton Woods, okay? Just a new way of doing things, a different way, like Bretton Woods, that changed basically the whole economy, global economy, and how things are played on the global stage. All right. So the bearish and bullish case for crypto, okay? The bullish case, short term, 0 to 3 months, increased uncertainty and market volatility may initially push investors towards Bitcoin and crypto as hedges against traditional market risks. So far, that has not been the case, right? But it's only day one. Medium term, 3 months, persistent inflation due to tariffs could strengthen Bitcoin's appeal as an inflation-resistant store of value. Broader economic instability might accelerate adoption of crypto and decentralized finance, attracting investors seeking alternatives to traditional markets. And the long term, 6 to 12 months, if tariffs successfully repatriate manufacturing, boosting U.S. economic resilience, overall investor confidence could rise, positively impacting risk on including crypto. And that's what we really want. We want enough data to come, right, in the next couple of months to say, hey, risk is on. We want money to be going into the system, and it's hard now because of the whole inflation thing, right? They don't want to flood the money into the system because they'll bring inflation up way high again, and they want to avoid that. So it's sticky, right? Continued instability in global trade could solidify crypto's position as an alternative asset class over time. Bearish case, 0 to 3 months. Immediate economic shocks from tariffs might initially drive a broad sell-off in risk assets, including crypto, which is right now what's going on. Medium term, 3 to 6 months. Tariff-induced higher prices and economic downturns may lead investors to safer traditional assets, gold, bonds, cash, reducing speculative crypto investments. And the long term, 6 to 12 months, persistent global trade tensions could significantly slow global growth, limit disposable income, and discourage new institutional and retail investments in crypto. Continued economic uncertainty might cause regulators to tighten policies, slowing crypto adoption and integration. Conclusion. And here's the whole thing for me, right? Slow. To me, it might just slow things down, but I don't think it stops things. Unless there's like a huge recession, then yes, things would be stopped. But I think they're going to avoid that because they have a plan. The tariff things aren't in place forever. They're there just to bring people to the negotiating table so that they can say, hey, this is what we need to do next, right? And they do have strength because the U.S. is the biggest consumer in the world, all right, of all the countries. So they have that power, to negotiate with, all right. Conclusion. Trump's economic team represents a fundamental shift from traditional economic thought, heavily betting on tariffs to reshape the economy. The long-term success or failure of this policy directly impacts crypto's markets. If tariffs boost economic independence without severe global backlash, crypto may benefit from sustained confidence and adoption. And that's kind of the bet, right? That's kind of the bet to keep things going, that this actually works. If tariffs trigger prolonged economic instability and trade wars, crypto could initially struggle before potentially becoming a refuge asset in the long term. So, I mean, it looks like, based on this conclusion, crypto wins either way, right? Monitor closely, of course, how global markets and inflation respond to these unprecedented economic strategies. Inflation, that's what we need. That's what we need to make sure that it stays in check. And that's kind of like a wild card, right? What the Fed is going to do. Will the Fed cut next month? I don't know. The next time they're going to meet, which I think is next month. All right. I don't know. But it's too early to tell right now, okay? In the meantime, now that you have all that information, so in the meantime, markets did drop. We'll get back to Bitcoin in a second. Let's see what it did to other markets. Look what it did to the dollar. Just boom, free fall. All right. Dow Jones, same thing. It's having, and there's a big gap that'll be filled. NASDAQ, same thing, right? No gap there. It's just dropping. S&P 500, big gap. All right. So what does this mean to me? All right. Well, it depends on how much lower things go. All right. It's just more prolonged sideways, more prolonged slowly going down. Okay, how I see it. All right, look at gold. Gold actually dropped too. That's crazy, right? Everything just dropped. 2-year bond yields, 10-year bond yields. Okay, so these yields dropped. Okay, which means that the bond prices actually went up. All right, so there's a lot of fear. Bitcoin dominance. All right, red day. Others, what are we doing? We are just holding on to this area, but just, take stock in this. This is what it looks like in the big picture. It's just a huge channel, right? The upper part of this channel going up this line. We haven't really lost it per se. We've been there before. We've done it all through here. So let's see what happens. Maybe this kind of is it. Maybe we do go sideways. We don't fall too much lower. You know, maybe little wicks and stuff a little lower, but for the most part, kind of stay around here. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I think Trump is gonna and his team they're gonna pull this stuff off. I think it's doing well. The market is not responding yet. All right, Ethereum. Look at the Ethereum. And then we'll get to Bitcoin. 1,700. Wow, that's crazy. Almost 1,800. Unbelievable. All right, so let's see what happens though. Could be forming an inverse head and shoulders, right? Like Bitcoin is, right? So I mean, now let's take a look at the Bitcoin technically, just based on what the chart says. Inverse head and shoulders. Okay, can break through here. Boom. We're going to at least the 90s, 91, 92, which would be ideal. I would love to see it up here, right? I thought maybe before May, but now this whole tariff thing, I'm sorry, I thought, yeah, maybe we'd be out of this area up here before May, but now this whole tariff thing, I'm reassessing, and I'm just hoping that we kind of just stay where we are, right? And don't drop too much lower. Now here, we'd have to lose $80,000, right? As a psychological, and then we'd have to really get below 78,000 to have a chance at touching the bottom of this line, which is at 75 or maybe even 73,000 here. Okay, but I don't know if that happens. That was the worst, the news, right? I mean just the fear, and all the other markets dropped. Bitcoin didn't drop as low. Okay, Bitcoin didn't drop as low. We saw a liquidity index. This is the reason. I mean, another reason why it went up, just to grab that. There's just manipulation, but I mean that happens in all markets. ETFs yesterday. Huge inflows, $334 million in inflows, guys. Interesting, very interesting. After 3 days in a row of red. Previous to that, there were 8 days in a row. No, 9 days in a row of green right here. But yesterday's inflow day just dwarfed all of them. Their best day, which was 274. This one beat it, 334 million. So that's interesting, right? I mean, again, as we've seen, the ETFs affect price, but not really. I think price affects more of the ETFs, but sometimes that reverses as well. Hopefully this is a harbinger of good things. This will say more interest will be coming in, and more interest is going to come in, guys. All right, everybody wants to hold Bitcoin. Eventually this price is going to move up. Okay, that's another reason why I don't think we're going into a bear market, guys. All right, I don't think so. Like even in the monthly, you can just see it much clearer right here. Okay, this is the whole rise up, right? Since this cycle's low, right? This cycle's bear market. No, actually, this would be a new cycle right here, the bear market, right? And then this cycle's up market right here. Okay, from here. All right, so this was the low of this cycle, and from there, since then, right? That was on December 2022, and since then we've been going up, as you can see, up periods of months. We're looking at the monthly, by the way, months of sideways, then up for quite a few months of sideways, then up for a few months, and now months of sideways. What do you think is going to happen again? Even though we might drop a little bit, but I don't think we leave this triangle right now. As long as this body stays something like it is right there, I think it would just be kind of like a bottoming out, right? And then next month maybe another body, but this time green, and then after that starting to move up a little bit more. We'll see how things break out. Any type of catalyst, any positive catalyst, right? If in a couple of weeks we see things are working, or next month, which I doubt, but the Fed says, yeah, we're going to cut rates, right? Because things are looking great, inflation is down. I mean, yes, ideally, Goldilocks situation might happen, might not, right? But I just, Bitcoin is just too strong right now. All right, as far as the interest, as far as the interest, as far as people buying, not even people, entities, right? Countries, guys, seriously, countries, states. I mean, businesses, more and more businesses dedicating themselves to just becoming Bitcoin holding companies, guys. I mean, come on, United States of America, Bitcoin reserve, guys. This is just a blip, okay? This is just a blip right now, all right? So, opportunity for those that can see it and have the wherewithal and the moxie to step in when people are getting scared and wanting to quit, capitulate, and be out. All right, could we drop down here? to 75,000? Yes. Could we drop down here to 72,000? Yes. But first things first, we got to get below this 80,000 and 79. Or if not, then we're going to stay right around here. We're going to play right around here, and eventually we're probably just going to walk over this line, right? And eventually start moving up. How long? I don't know. May. We might be warring May, June, right? Maybe in July we start seeing some things kind of move up. And historically, the summer months are usually kind of boring, and then things pick up at the end. But who knows, right? Nothing has to be exact, right? Obviously, they're going to change. It's going to have its own style. This cycle is going to have its own style, its own different way of moving. Okay, now that's Bitcoin. Okay, so short term, I think maybe we could drop down, test 80,000, but just pretty much consolidate into this little range right here between 87,000 and 78,000. All right, for now, we'd have to really break below that for it to touch here. So far, hasn't shown that is the case. We'll see. We'll take it day by day, like we always do. And obviously, meme coins got not so much this one, right? But Keycat and Doginme. So because those are the ones that were in play. Now I wanted to see it get up higher, past 0.08, and up here before I would have sold half of my position, right? And then would have waited for a drop, but it didn't. It just kind of stayed right here. Okay, it kind of just stayed right here, and it dropped on the whole fears a lot, right? A lot. I didn't think it would break here. I thought it would take a little while to get here, but it just broke it in one day. All right. Same thing with Doginme. All right. 2 days of just dropping. I didn't think it would lose this area, but it did. All right. Maybe it comes back down here. 3040. Right. It would be a buying opportunity. These things are gonna do well. Let's take a look at what they look like on the monthly. Right. I said when in doubt, zoom out. Okay. These are new projects, so they don't have huge. I mean, what does that look like to you? It looks kind of like a cup, right? Do a handle and eventually break through. It's gonna go way higher, right? If this is in fact the case, it'd be way higher. This is Doginme, by the way. That's what it looks like on the monthly time frame. What is the what does the Doginme look like? I mean, Keycat looks like an inverse head and shoulders, a massive one, and it's really just gotta get past this area right here. Well, really more 0.06. Right, we'll call it this 0.08. If it breaks past this area, only resistance left is that 1 cent. But I think it would probably break through that and push a lot higher, guys. Push a lot higher. Interesting. So zooming out, they don't look that bad, right? Zoom out, it looks like it's doing what it's been doing here, just kind of consolidating. Big massive moves, right? This is on the monthly, by the way. Okay, so we're looking at every candle meaning a month. Just having a green month, a red month. But here's the positive thing about both of these things. All right, the price action not that great, but the chart still looks bullish on the monthly, which is huge, right? Doginme also looks extremely bullish on the monthly, which is huge. So buying at these areas, although they could drop more, right? But accumulating, you might be happy at the end of the year. My bet is that you will be happy at the end of the year accumulating, buying here, all right? For Doginme and Keycat. Okay, it didn't work out exactly like we wanted to, right? We weren't able, at least I was. I hope some of you maybe decided to sell right here and say, hey, because you bought right here. But, I was hoping to catch it higher and buy back in lower. Oh, well, no big deal. Now just hold and wait, because I think eventually this thing's going to turn around. They're on Coinbase, guys. They have access to millions of people that are going to get on Coinbase, and more people are going to come to crypto, and they're going to see these coins, and people love memes, okay? They love memes, especially if they're lower cap stuff, right? Because they want to wager. They want to be that one that they dream about, that someone put $500 in and became a multi-millionaire, a month later, 2 months later. That doesn't happen with other altcoins. It happens with memes. You hear stories of that all the time. So normal people are gonna gravitate to that, right? And these are already, like, Keyboard Cat has been listed on BingX. I mean, they're listing all over the place, right? And Keyboard Cat and Doginme, they both have excellent volume, guys, and that's also extremely important. All right, they have volume because why volume? First, exchanges will want to list them if they have a lot of volume, because they're going to get more fees, right? More people interested buying and selling, all right? And on top of that, if you bought low and you're gonna sell when it comes down time to sell next year, end of this year, because you're up like 50x or whatever, then because you're up 50x, you want a lot of volume, right? You want a lot of liquidity there, because if you make $1 million, how are you gonna sell it on very low volume, very low liquidity? you'll destroy the chart, get slipped. All right, so you want a lot of interest, you want a lot of volume, you want a lot of liquidity, and these two have that. All right, so keep all that stuff in mind when you're making your decisions. All right, so I think I'm gonna leave it there. My son just came to visit me, and so, well, he just came to the office to visit, and so we'll leave it there. But hang in there, everything is gonna be all right. Eventually we will move up. Right, it's just a lot of fear right now because of the uncertainty regarding the Trump's plan. All right, Liberation Day and all that stuff. But I think it's gonna be all right. Let's give it a few weeks. Let's give it a couple months, and things will turn around. All right. In the meantime, just weather the storm as best you can. Good sailors aren't made are made in rough waters. Okay, not calm waters. Leave it there. If you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. I'm trying to grow this channel. All that stuff really does help. With all that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace. Say goodbye, little ant.